Hi, I want to talk about pro-life lies. Now, I'm not talking about their typical lies about abortion or simply removing something from your body, typically the size of a pea or grape. I'm going to talk about their lies as far as self-flattery, calling themselves pro-life when they are really anti. So let's talk about what they are for. But first, I want to have a disclaimer. They actually self-sabotage and hurt their own cause tons. How is that? They don't support free birth control, which I do. So I actually help their cause and they hurt it. Free birth control saves taxpayers millions and millions of dollars. Use my taxes. Lowers termination rates, tons, 42% in Colorado, and prevents overpopulation. So win, win, win. But they oppose logic using religious hogwash, cafeteria Christians, even though it doesn't really say anything about it. I was raised religious. Doesn't really say anything about abortion or birth control because it wasn't around then. But anyways, their interpretations are political. But anyways, win, win, win. Free birth control. Use my taxes then. It doesn't have to be yours. Use my taxes. Saves money. Reduces termination rates 42%. And overpopulation. Win, win, win. But they self-sabotage their own cause while I actually help it. Strange. But they hurt their own cause. But let's get back to what are they for and against. Okay. Well, I call them anti. They're anti-abortion. They're not pro-life. That's self-flattery. They're not even for universal health care. They might say, oh, I shouldn't have to pay for your health care. They don't even want it in people's own health care. Hobby Lobby, and there's another court case in the Supreme Court right now. So they're complete hypocrites. But, okay, you don't want to pay for my health care. I don't want you to pay for my health care. But I have to pay socialist public school taxes, child tax credits, paid paternity leave for federal workers Trump increased, and much, much more. I'm fined over $350,000 over my lifetime because I choose not to overpopulate, just to spread my DNA. So what are they for and what are they against? They're anti. They're anti-healthcare. They're anti-free birth control, thus hurting their own cause, self-sabotage. They're anti-adoption. There's 450,000 kids and teenagers in the foster care system that are free and easy to adopt. You would know if you tried. Me and my wife went through the process. If you actually cared, you would know that. I actually tried to sign people up at the so-called pro-life rally in DC, and 0 takers. Yep. So they're anti-adoption overall. They're anti-women's rights to simply remove a pea or grape-sized embryo from their bodies. They're anti-animal rights. Most of them, many are actually hunters. Yep, imagine that. They're anti-environment overall. You can deny this or not, but regardless, I'm sick of being fined to pay for your kids thousands in school taxes a year alone. They're anti-environment. They're anti-freedom. Yes, that's anti-freedom. They talk about guns. Well, this is pretty much so personal to women. You're telling them what they can do without and not do with their own bodies. That's why I call them Christian conception clowns or cafeteria Christian conception clowns, because there's actually nothing really in the Bible about it, but they pick and choose. So they're anti-women, and they're anti-helping in general. They're just anti-helping. They virtue signal pro-life, call themselves self-flattery, virtue signaling. So what are they pro, though? They're pro-theft. They want me to pay for other people's kids and their kids in many forms, $350,000 in fines, as I mentioned before, over my lifetime, if I do the math. They're pro-hunger. Yes, actually eating animals. Factory farmed animals are fed most of our crops, and they poop them out. So eating animals, or simply leaving animals alone, is what a vegan would call it. You simply leave animals alone. That's veganism. Like we leave women alone, or should. So they poo most of the crops out that we feed them. Force bred animals. They're not overpopulated. We force breed them. So if they crap most of it out, what you're left with is wasting a ton of crops and resources. The only reason meat is so cheap is because the government subsidizes it via the USDA Farm Bill. No calls to defund them, though. So they kill daily. They eat animals from factory farms, sentient beings that suffer from birth to death, and only would be so lucky if they were terminated when the size of a pea, or 10 to 15 weeks, when most are done for women, removed. But they're pro-theft of my money. They're pro-overpopulation. They're pro-hunger, eating animals. They're pro-animal abuse. They're pro-embryo. And they're pro-fake religion, the cafeteria type. But they are not pro-life. Again, they're anti-healthcare. They're anti-free birth control, self-sabotage in their own cause. They're anti-adoption. They're anti-animal rights, they're anti-women's rights, they're anti-gay rights overall, they're anti-environment, and they're anti-freedom to simply leave women alone and animals. Yes, and they're also anti-gay in most cases when gays pay them welfare in many forms, as I pointed out. So get out of the bedrooms. I'm libertarian, really, for small government. Get out of the bedrooms. And your Chick-fil-A kills every single day, 3 times. But you have the nerve to call yourself pro-life. And you deny people like me health care. Yes, I don't have health care right now. But I'm fined thousands of dollars paying socialist school taxes, child tax credits, daycare write-offs, paid paternity leave, and many other breeder benefits to overpopulate at my expense, but you can deny me health care. Yeah, who's the socialist and hypocrite? You're not pro-life. You're not even pro-healthcare. And you're pro-hunger by wasting food, feeding most of it to animals to be pooed out. So they're very anti, they're not pro, and they self-sabotage. Make free birth control for all, use my taxes. And adopt. Just like pets, people are overpopulated. Thank you, and share if you care.